Dr. Travis, it's so great to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on your second book that you've authored, The Lean Belly Prescription.
I appreciate it. I'm excited about it.
As an ER doctor, you've treated all kinds of illnesses and injuries. And why choose to write a book in particular about belly fat?
Well, obviously everyone's worried about belly fat because, oh my gosh, I don't fit into my jeans like I used to, or beach season is coming up. And that's great. If your motivation to lose belly fat is to look good in a bikini or your swimsuit, that's fine. But belly fat as a doctor is such a major contributor to the diseases that really shorten our life. Heart disease, stroke, diabetes, many cancers, and also the ones that affect our quality of life, arthritis, sexual dysfunction. And so to ignore belly fat is to ignore one of the major contributors to poor health.
You say belly fat is one of our biggest enemies. Why is it so dangerous?
Well, because belly fat doesn't just sit in your gut. It literally is a toxic goop that surrounds your internal organs. It's metabolically active. So it really creates this inflammatory state throughout your body. And that's why you're at increased risk for all the things from heart attacks to diabetes to stroke, because it is not inert. It's very active, and it releases all sorts of inflammatory markers that really do affect our overall health. And I really feel like people think that, oh, it's so unsightly, but it's not. For a doctor, it's not the sight that worries me. It's knowing what the fat is actually doing. But the good news is this: belly fat, aka visceral fat that surrounds your organs, it is the most dangerous kind of fat. But here's the good news. Here's why I wrote the Lean Belly Prescription. It's the easiest fat to lose. And I've always said that I've wanted to write a prescription for my patients for a better life. And I feel like the Lean Belly Prescription is that, because I show you in easy steps how to lose your belly fat and never feel like you're dieting. You don't even have to step foot into a gym if you don't want to.
You've created a revolutionary Pick 3 to Lean plan. Explain that.
Well, we all know diets fail. They're designed to fail. So the only way you can eat to not only enjoy life, but lose your belly fat is you have to be allowed to eat the foods you love. So Pick 3 to Lean is telling people that you choose the foods you want to eat, and I'm going to show you how to eat them and burn belly fat at the same time. I'm going to show you how to cut calories without ever feeling like you're dieting. So Pick 3 to Lean. If you love carbs, I'm going to show you a simple switch that's going to take your carbs from adding to belly fat to carbs that are going to burn belly fat. If you love cheese and yogurt, I'm actually going to show you the power of dairy in terms of maybe starting to burn calories rather than adding them on. If you love fatty foods, there's even a plan in there for you in terms of how you can use fats to satisfy your appetite, fill your belly up without filling it out.
You say making simple changes can really lead to big results, and I think that gives a lot of people hope.
Well, everyone thinks that it has to be so complex, but the Lean Belly Prescription really is about the 200 plus choices we make every day that determine whether or not we're going to have a lean belly. And it's not about going to the gym every single day. That's not what the Lean Belly Prescription is. This is a prescription for your everyday individual who's busy, who's stressed out, who just wants to know how. How, Dr. Travis, in the world can I lose weight when I don't have time to go to the gym every day, when I don't have time to hire a cook to come cook all my meals or to make all of my meals from scratch? This is that super practical guide that we can all use, because I'm going to show you how steps and choices that take no time out of your schedule will be the difference between being overweight or at your ideal weight.
Name a few of your 10-second slim downs that make incorporating these changes so easy.
Drink a glass of water before every meal. Better yet, ice water. You may consume 20% fewer calories. If you watch TV, a lot of people watch 5 hours of TV a day. I would never say don't watch TV, But if you can add 10 to 15 minutes of activity for every hour of TV you watch, you will negate the negative health consequences of watching TV. So those are the simple things. But the other big one, sugar. 20 teaspoons of added sugar in most American diets. Wow. But it's from the baked goods, it's from the candies, from the sodas. Where don't you find all those added sugars? Well, what about dairy? What about whole grains, nuts, fruits, vegetables, meats, eggs? There's a lot of great foods out there that we can eat and burn belly fat that don't have a ton of added sugars in them. So, you know, these simple tweaks make a huge difference.
The health statistics of obese women compared with that of lean-bellied women, they were pretty surprising.
They are. Over 50% increase risk of heart disease if you're obese compared to ideal weight. Over 50% increased risk for diabetes. Increased risk for many cancers. Even things we don't think about until it's too late, arthritis. 40% more likely if you're obese versus your ideal weight. And why that affects you is when you come see me in the emergency department and you've let your weight go for too long, if you have arthritis, well then now you're having trouble walking. And so you want to beat abdominal obesity before it causes you to have things like arthritis, because you don't want to start down that path where I can't exercise because I have arthritis because I'm obese or overweight, because they do, you know, that's a lot of extra weight on your joints, on your low back. And so the Lean Belly Prescription, it is not a negative book, it's positive. It's about, okay, let's acknowledge that. But you can have the lean belly you always wanted. It's a lot easier than you think, and the tips that are sprinkled throughout this book are going to show you exactly how to do it without sacrificing anything. How
did the men compare, obese men versus men with lean bellies?
You know, the stats are similar for men and women, and it's staggering because if you take an obese male, the chances that he's going to have a heart attack in his lifetime or develop diabetes or have a stroke, get cancer, greatly increased. Sexual dysfunction greatly increased in men who are obese versus ideal weight. So we can't ignore those stats. You just can't, especially as an ER doctor. So the Lean Belly Prescription is the prescription I've always wanted to write, but it's not in pill form because pills are not going to answer this problem. It's you. It's the individual. You just need the tools, and I feel like this book gives you the tools you need to make those simple changes. And again, diets fail. They're destined to fail. What's great about the Lean Belly Prescription, what's great about my Pick 3 to Lean plan is that I will never ask you to diet. No dieting involved. You're going to burn fat calories, you're going to burn your belly fat, and you're never going to diet.
Here's some good news for people who don't like going to the gym. You don't have to go work out to burn fat, is that right?
That's a pretty neat concept, right?
Yeah.
And I say neat because there is this idea of non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's a mouthful. But we don't think about this. But whether or not you take the elevator versus the stairs, whether or not when you call home, whether you pace around the kitchen versus sit in the chair, that's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Burning calories doing everyday activities. You have hundreds of choices throughout the day to burn calories, and that is the difference between being overweight versus ideal weight. Not always whether you go to the gym for an hour every single day. So if you hate the gym, I'm not asking you to go to the gym. I may ask you when you brush your teeth, for 30 seconds, try to balance on one foot and then switch to the other one. Doesn't take any time out of your day, but you're improving your coordination and you're burning some extra calories. And I may ask you, your mom always says never pace. I'm going to ask you to pace. When you get on the phone, I want you on your feet. I don't want you sitting in the chair. At work, set your alarm on your computer. Every 30 minutes to an hour, get up. Go get a glass of ice water. That's another tip in the book. Not a soda, not a sugar water, a glass of ice water. Burn more calories without taking any time out of your day, and you're going to have more energy. So NEAT is all about having more energy, burning calories, so that when you go home at the end of the day, in a way, you've already had your workout. And I outline tons of tips in there for how you can incorporate this into your life. And if you do like to go to the gym, that's obviously the cherry on top. But you do not have to be a gym rat to get the benefits of a lean belly. You do not. And I speak from experience. I sometimes have weeks where I don't have time to go to the gym, and I incorporate all the little activities I mentioned in this book. These are the choices I make in my life, and I'm busy as well, so I understand where people are coming from. We can't all go to the gym for an hour plus every single day. But for those people that do want to incorporate formal exercise, I have a lot of great plans in here. All you need is a set of dumbbells you can use at home, or if you don't even have those, just your own body weight. And they don't take any more than 15, 20 minutes. If you do them a few days a week, you're on your way to a lean belly.
Being active is such a part of your life. You don't even have a car. How do you get to work every day?
It's a bike, and I'm very lucky because I actually try to live relatively close to work. So I'm a 15-minute bike ride from work. But what I love about having to bike to work is, even if it's a little cold out, even if it's a little bit wet out, I never ever have gotten home from a bike ride from work and said, oh, I really regret that. And so it's the one thing that forces me to be active, because like I said, there are sometimes weeks on end where I don't have time to go do any formal exercise. But hey, by the time I get home from work, I've had 30 minutes on the bike on the way there and back. And people don't need to bike, but hey, if you can walk to the grocery store once a week, or even if you drive to the grocery store, park in the corner. And if it's really cold outside, it's okay to use the supermarket as your track. Go around, make a few extra loops. You forgot a cantaloupe? Go back to the fruit section, go get the cantaloupe. And, you know, that's activity. All of that we build into our daily lives makes a difference. And don't always go for the automated devices that dominate our lives. Next time you're thinking about taking the escalator, I challenge you, take the stairs. That's part of your workout for the day. I outline all those tips in the Lean Belly Prescription because I want people to realize that anyone can do this. Anyone should do this, because this book isn't as much about a lean belly as much as it is about a longer, healthier, happier life, more years to your life, more sunsets, more sunrises, and playing with your grandkids, rather than them thinking, oh, you know, grandma or granddad, all I remember them doing is just watching TV all day long.
I know there are so many people who've tried diets and failed, who've lost all the weight and gained it back, or who just want to start living healthier. What can you say to encourage them?
I would say you're not a failure. Diets are designed to fail you. So those have failed you. You have not failed yourself. And what people need is a practical guide. And that's why I wrote the Lean Belly Prescription, because we need a practical guide how to lose weight without going to the gym every day and without feeling like we're dieting. And I speak from experience. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in a family that we loved our big, heavy meals. And I had to teach myself. And so I've taken everything I've learned and I've put it in this book, because this is something anyone can do. And this is a prescription, a Lean Belly Prescription that you won't fail. And it's a design your own plan. So you choose what you like to do, and you choose what you like to eat, and I'm going to show you how to do that and be healthy doing it.